Like, hey, buddy. Oh! Oh! I'm breakdancing in the middle of the street. Don't bother me.
Oh, shit.
No, this isn't the Velvet Revolver song.
Oh.
But hey, good callback though.
Yeah.
I was listening to Velvet Revolver's first album not too long ago, and I heard that song, and I'm like, that's a kick-ass riff. Dave Kushner did a great job coming up with that riff.
It's actually pretty hard to play.
It can be.
So I tried to learn it at one point, and I was like, that's harder than you'd think it would be.
Yeah, I remember my friend Daniel, he had it down on guitar, and I had him show it to me, and it's pretty tough lick. Especially just getting getting everything down right.
So they have that song as DLC on Rocksmith. So I tried to learn it that way one time.
Oh, also, we were trying out music stuff more seriously now, where we actually had our first jam session Sunday. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun. We played some covers, and we just dicked around and just that, you know, that feeling out period you get with people whenever you start playing with somebody. That's sort of what it was. It was a good feeling out period for all of us to understand, like, okay, this is where I'm at. Okay, this is where you're at. Okay, this is where he's at. Okay, this is where he's at. And from there, we can all try and come together and make something interesting.
Also, like the fact that I literally basically just started playing bass, and then luckily I can keep up with everybody for the most part.
Yeah. The only one who I think is just like leagues above both of us is Jacob.
Yeah.
I think he's just too damn good on guitar. It's all those years of him practicing and everything. Me, I've been out of practice with guitar. I haven't played solidly since 2016, 2017. Damn.
Well,
Now
he was
I feel
like,
old.
see if you can play this, and was playing Amon Amarth riffs that are pretty difficult on guitar, and I looked up the bass tabs for them, and apparently it's freaking easy on bass. I was like, huh.
Yeah, we looked up how to play like Seven Nation Army just to get a good, just to get everyone on the same page, just having fun. And we discussed what songs we would like to cover as, just here on the channel. I mean, honestly, there's several that we talked about. There's one in particular we talked about. We don't want to give away exactly what it is, but we basically played through the whole song, and it was only in one session that it took us to get everything down. So, actually less than that, because we spent the first half of the session just dicking around, and then the second half of the session we really zeroed in on what we wanted to do. And it was really cool coming up with that. But how do we get on this again? Oh yeah, Slither, the song by Velvet Revolver. Speaking of Slither, there was a movie that came out in 2006, and it got rave reviews across the board. A bunch of people thought it was awesome, hilarious.
It's one of my favorites.
It's one of mine too. I actually saw this in theaters by myself.
It has the good man Nathan Fillion in it.
Yes, it does. It also has solid Hollywood go-to tough guy Michael Rooker as well. And honestly, for me, I remember watching this in theaters. Opening weekend, I thought, there's going to be at least maybe 5-10 people in here. Nobody. And it saddens me to think that this film did not get enough recognition when it came out, especially from people. And it got it on rentals, because I remember when this became available to rent when I was working at the movie store. It flew off the wall. We couldn't keep it in stock because it's just everyone wanted to see it. It's like, holy crap, this was in theaters? How come I didn't know about this? Yeah, and
I believe that I caught a preview for it before watching something else, and I was like, I gotta go see that. And I believe I saw it in theaters when it came out.
Needless to say, the movie Slither is quite an anomaly, because this was pre-Guardians of the Galaxy James Gunn. This was post Firefly, pre Guardians of the Galaxy. So he was in this little in between period where he was trying to figure out what he wanted to do in between making edgy tweets on Twitter and everything, which turned out to get him in a whole heaping ton of trouble. Jesus. Let's get into it. Here we go.
Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims
Hi,
in all our
Zoran.
favorite horror movies. I'm Zoran's slightly different
Oh, I heard that James is back as of recently, by the way.
Slightly different.
Oh, his first one was Stranger Things Season 3, and it's an hour long.
That's pretty long.
Yeah, I know.
Kind of killer worm movie with Slither, released in 2006. Slither is James Gunn's directorial debut after having written several movies directed by other people. And, you know, whatever Zack Snyder is. He intended to do the same with the Slither screenplay so he could make a little money and make his independent film super. But a bidding war commenced, and producer Paul Brooks at Golden Circle Films convinced him to direct the film himself.
To have a few laughs and, realise that, fuck, this ain't a bad way to be earning a living.
Gunn got his start working for Trome Entertainment with his first film, Tromeo and Juliet. And this man is a true horror lover. He even says that Slither was inspired by his love of Cronenberg, Carpenter, the horror manga comic Uzumaki, and the schlocky monster movies of the 1980s. But
I
not
didn't know
the
he liked
1986
Junji
Fred Decker movie, Night of the Creeps, which many say Gunn ripped off, but he says he's never seen it. And he's missing out. Seriously, I don't know what that is, but I love it. Much like my music video social media masochist, Slither is crammed with hidden horror Easter eggs. From the stores, to the shot compositions, to the character names. I'll point out some of my favorites, but it would take a full video to cover them all. And I don't have the best track record when it comes to releasing timely Easter egg videos. Slither is the story of a small town invaded by an outer space entity. It infects a local man named Grant, exacerbating marital issues between him and his wife Starla.
The center of Slither is really the story about the dissolution of a marriage.
As their marriage falls apart, so does the town, as Grant impregnates, assimilates, and occasionally eviscerates everyone around him. The only man who can stop him is Sheriff Bill Party, played by the true live-action Nathan Drake, Nathan Fillion.
Yes!
He is Bill Party.
I'm Bill Party.
He's Bill Party.
That's the thing. I know that because James Gunn is behind the camera, he has to fuck with Fillion. He has to. He's just like, all right, everybody, places, and remember, you're Sheriff Bill Party. Action. It's like, fucking shit. It's like, damn it, James.
We're in the shop before it even started.
Exactly. Because it's James frickin' Gunn. He kind of does that kind of thing. Anyway.
He's right, though.
In addition to Fillion and this completely stacked cast, the movie also boasts a ton of incredible practical effects.
Yes.
Done by Todd Masters and his team at Masters Effects. So many, in fact, that Slither single-handedly depleted the nation's supply of silicone. And it took over a month for the manufacturers to formulate more.
Whoa.
And with that amount of fake flesh on deck, I'm gonna need a sponsor. So let
did
me,
not know
Nathan,
that.
fill you in on Manscaped. This month, Manscaped has a special
Dang it,
reminder for
Zoran.
our audience. Are you listening? Come in a bit closer. No, genuinely,
Balls.
because Manscaped is partnering with the Testicular Cancer Society to remind ball possessors everywhere that you don't need to just shave your balls, you need to save your balls.
I got mine
Testicular
checked
cancer
today
is
at the
serious.
doctor,
So
and I'm
serious,
good
in
right
fact,
now.
that I'll be
Good on you.
sacrificing
Good
my
on
precious
you.
flannel here for a moment.
I was going to say, I've got products by Manscaped, and yeah, their lawnmower is amazing.
Flannel away! That feels weird, but necessary. Because every hour someone is diagnosed with testicular cancer, and for Jewel Jostlers age 15 to 35, it's the most common form. But with proper monthly at-home checks, you can make sure that your little buddies don't ever end up looking like this.
It looks like something that fell off my dick during the war.
I forgot about that line.
Wow!
That's why this
Forgot about
movie
that
is
line,
so
too.
good.
God, Jesus, that's gold. Oh, damn it! I forgot about that. Oh.
Added reminder, you can pick up the Manscaped limited edition TCS Lawnmower 4.0.
I actually had that
You
one.
can just pick it up because it's purple, and that'll help you shave your purple mane Purple me.
I don't have the purple one, but I do have the I have the
Oh
one
God,
that-
it's on! Listen, I know that we're still selling you something here, but Manscaped is putting their money where their mouth is too, by donating $50,000 to the Testicular Cancer Society. And that's something that we can all go nuts for. You can learn more about testicular cancer and get 20% off Manscaped by going to manscaped.com/TCS and using promo code TCSDeadMeat. How many more people will be murdered by this Slytherin house? Let's find out and get to the kills. The movie begins in space as a meteorite hurtles towards the town of Wheelsy, South Carolina. It quietly lands in the woods where Sam Raimi is frantically trying to find the Evil Dead set. No luck, but he does find it.
Well, okay. Then he needs to go 2 states over to Tennessee because this is South Carolina.
A title card. Sound a little bit like a pirate when I say that.
I also like the fact that they set this in a state that I've been to on multiple occasions. So.
Same. I got family that lives
Not
in
too
South
far
Carolina.
away.
I got family down there.
It's the closest beach to us, so if you go to the beach, typically, if you don't want to drive to Virginia Beach, you go to Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, again, Myrtle is just a little bit closer than Virginia Beach, which is strange considering we have to go through 2 states to get there.
Yeah.
Versus,
But you're going vertically through states that are short
yes,
rather than long.
Well, yeah, because the coastline.
Because
of the
like North
United
Carolina is
States
kind of
goes in.
like an inverted Tennessee, and it's long if you go to the coast of North Carolina too. But like if you go just South Carolina squished, it's like a little triangle, so you just go through South Carolina
So
and you get to a beach.
Imagine this: we're here, opposite of our state, and if we drove all the way here, that'd take a long time. But where North Carolina and South Carolina are like this, it's a much shorter trip. It's shaves off about an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Yeah, Virginia is a very wide state.
Yes, and we live at the most southwestern tip of it.
Like on the piece that sticks out further than the rest of it.
Just for clarification, we live on the part that the rest of the state literally hates. If the state could cut off everything west of Roanoke, they would.
Why is that?
They look at us like we're a tumor because we're a bunch of like yelping mountain hicks.
Okay.
That's basically how they view us. Oh, dude, I went to Arlington, and up in Arlington they speak very plainly and very with very good pronunciation. And if you go up there and you have any kind of drawl in your voice or anything like that, they basically look at you like you're inbred and it's contagious.
I would look at them like they're an asshole.
Now you know how I feel.
They prepare for the Deer Cheer Festival at Henenlotter's Saddle Lounge. And that's a reference to Frank Henenlotter, director of James A. Janice's favorite Basket Boy. Max Wren's store is a reference to James Woods' character in Videodrome. And there's also R.J. McCready's funeral home, named after Kurt Russell's character in The Thing, because, he was pretty good at cremating bodies. That surname also belongs to Mayor Jack McCready, who gets his first name from Jack Burton in Big Trouble in Little China. And it seems like he's having some trouble of his own here.
Get the fuck out of the way, cocksucker!
Morning, Mayor. God.
I love this movie.
I do too. It's just so tongue-in-cheek.
Morning, Mayor.
McCready is played by Greg Henry, a delightful character actor that's been in many other James Gunn films, and also one of the worst movies ever made, Ballistic Exorcist 7. What a stupid name. Meanwhile, at the best-named school in the world, Starlet Grant teaches kids how to make a goddamn plan. She's played by Elizabeth Banks, who we've seen as the Martha to a shitty little Superman in Brightburn. After class, she sneaks in a quick cameo from director James Gunn. I made this movie. Before getting pulled away by her husband, Grant Grant. God damn it, I love that stupid name. Grant Grant is played by Michael Rooker, an incredible actor who we previously saw getting domed with a wrench in the Belko Experiment. Slither was the first time Gunn and Rooker worked together, and Gunn became a huge fan.
I remember he came in and I bowed down to him. This is before I knew him.
Michael Rooker gives me like Woody Harrelson vibes.
Kind of. Sort of like an everyman. Like a Southern everyman kind of thing. Like Woody Harrelson.
Just like, I feel like you could interchange their parts in movies and they'd work.
I could see that. Although I don't think Michael Rooker can jump like Woody Harrelson.
Probably not.
Well, have you seen Woody Harrelson dunk a basketball?
No.
even in his 50s, he was still able to do that.
But just imagine Michael Rooker as was he Dallas? Is that his name in Zombieland, or was it a different one?
Oh no, it was Tallahassee.
Tallahassee, yeah, Tallahassee.
Harrelson was I could definitely see Michael Rooker playing that part and playing it a little more seriously than Woody Harrelson.
I can still see him going off about snowballs.
Oh, snowballs, and not only that, but also the emotional part. I could see him pulling it off just as good as Woody Harrelson. The only thing I think Woody Harrelson has over him is just that, I guess, it's the facial expressions. Woody Harrelson's eyes are very expressive, whereas Michael Rooker, he's just got like a face that just screams curmudgeon, just like, what do you mean? Whereas Woody Harrelson's just like, what do you mean? Just that's where I would see it, but it could be played equally well by both guys. But anyway.
I mean, Woody Harrelson would have been great in his place in this movie.
Oh, dude, Woody would have killed here. Woody would have been hilarious.
He's definitely not worthy of bowing down to.
This led to a real-life friendship and continued collaboration in Gunn's later projects.
I'm very popular, y'all.
Yeah!
Guardian, Slither is the closest you're ever going to get to an MCU movie on the kill count, since the worm parasites from Slither were featured in the Collector's Museum.
That's right!
What the fuck isn't in the MCU?
I don't think I realized that
had been
at the
married
time.
since she was 17, which is legal in South Carolina.
And New Jersey. And a lot of other states. Hey, everyone. Post-production Nate here with a little bit of an informational interjection to correct the statement that I made in this reaction. So, as it turns out, the age of consent in South Carolina is in fact not 17, it's 16. And not only that, but 16 is also the age of consent in 28 of the 50 states of the United States, including New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Maine, Connecticut, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Vermont, Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, Minnesota. The list goes on and on. Washington State. Anyway, sorry. So, yeah. If this information makes you uncomfortable, then I implore you, do not look up what the age of consent is in Europe. And if that information makes you uncomfortable, then I implore you to not look up what the age of consent is in Mexico. I am shocked and appalled. That is all I can say. Anyway, back to the reaction.
But their love is faded, and she says she's not in the mood, sending Yondu and his blue balls to the local watering hole. He's approached by Brenda, the younger sister of one of his high school girlfriends, who's had a crush on him since she was young.
You couldn't have been more than 10 or 11.
Hell, I was game.
Oh boy, let's get away from these jokes before Disney fires us, okay? A drunken woods walk reveals Brenda's tragic initials.
BM! This is like a piece of shit.
Oh, shut up.
And though fecal wordplay may be shitty foreplay, Brenda grants Grant a kiss. Grant stops things when he remembers he's married to Elizabeth freaking Banks, then follows a slime trail to a brain bug-like creature who's very happy to see him. This anatomically correct lemon dot is from that meteorite earlier, and it fills its super meter to perform an X-ray attack on Grant. Ooh boy, taking over a human host sure can work up an appetite, but with no chocolate-covered pretzels in sight, Dr. Alien Grant heads back home for some
Meat.
Ah, yes, specifically Brundle brand meat, referencing Jeff Goldblum's.
Oh my god, the references in this fucking movie!
Dude, I missed like all of these too.
Well, as a kid, dude, as like a high school student, I missed most of these.
Well, I mean, technically, yeah, I didn't watch a lot of these horror movies till I was in college, and I saw this like late high school, very early college. So
Yeah, dude, I swear to God.
now, I think if I caught it in theaters, then it was definitely my junior year. So
Yeah, it was my senior year, 2006. But dude, the amount of references that I'm seeing now and not realizing from back then, I'm just like, oh! I had seen all these movies at that point. What is wrong with me? Because I'd seen The Fly. I'd seen The Thing. Oh, God. Anyway.
Character Seth Brundle from,
The Fly.
The next morning, Elizabeth Banks is sad more people didn't like her Charlie's Angels reboot, and decides to reboot.
It sucked. I'm sorry. What? Honestly, I just didn't like it.
Her marriage with a pitch-perfect sexy dance set to Air Supply's You're Every Woman in the World to Me. The alien inside Grant experiences love for the first time ever. Not only emotionally, but physically too, as Grant and Starla make a porno. The next day, Grant grabs some post-coitus and puts a lock on the basement door.
What's this lock doing on the door?
Oh, Starla, what is your obsession with my forbidden basement of mystery? Starla gives up her hotbox interrogation, and Marianne cranes her way into the shower with some really well-placed window fog. Grant and his tummy tentacles would love to reenact some scenes from La Blue Girl, but he doesn't want to get this video age restricted,
you had to
so
bring
he
that
runs
up.
off with a flimsy excuse that leaves him sounding like an underpants gnome.
I gotta go to work.
Work on the search for underpants hole. That leaves Starla going to the Deer Cheer celebration unescorted, which is just fine with Sheriff Bill Party, who's basically been in love with her since they were teenagers.
Surprised you're able to lift a mug and been carrying that torch for so long.
That reminds me of something I want to tell you.
Sam.
Fuck you, fat ass.
Bill tries to be more than just...
Okay, I've had that insult hurled at me a few times, and I gotta say, still funny. Still fucking funny.
I mean, it works better because of the way you set it up. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I got something to tell you. What's that? Fuck you, fat ass.
Well, I just need to try that sometime when somebody like throws one at me. Oh, that reminds me of something I got to tell you. And I was like, what's that? Fuck you.
Fuck you, fat ass. I was gonna say for Andrew, you'd be like, "Fuck you, skinny fuck." Fuck you, skinny ass.
It's not all my friends have meat on them. So.
No, some of them are quite skinny and tall and lanky.
Starla Gazer and act on this certain unspoken thing between them. But he gets interrupted by a scene of Grant visiting Brenda. A fun countdown at Deer Cheer is intercut with the reveal of Grant's chesticles that he uses to impregnate Brenda. The tentacles were a combination of practical pieces by Masters Effects and digital tentacles created by visual effects supervisor John Godesky. They're combined in a seamless blend that the two teams worked very hard to achieve.
Wow.
If you're smart and you can figure out how to key them together like that, you get something that people don't even know what they're looking at.
That night, Starla comes home.
They're definitely very
Grant
disturbing
looking. A
looking.
little worse.
Huh?
They were definitely very disturbing looking.
Oh, very, very. It again, the whole thing. It's how it worked. I mean, eventually, you figure out if both tentacles don't go in, you'll have eggs in you, but they won't be fertilized. That's basically how it works. Again,
it's a gross concept.
It is a very gross concept, and it goes back to Alien, because Alien sort of follows that. Again, it's the fear of getting raped, basically, and Alien plays into that because this thing latches onto you and it basically impregnates you without your permission and basically fucks your world up.
Yep.
Same thing with Grant here. So
just in this case, it definitely kills you if that happens to you. So.
Well, Alien kills you too. I mean, the chest burster makes sure of that.
Well, that's what I was saying, Alien. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
In that case.
Damn. Anyway.
For where?
It's just a bee sting.
Yeah, it's just an allergic reaction. His doctor said so. You can call him yourself.
I haven't seen your husband in over a year.
Well, Grant's a liar, but his doctor ain't. And that doctor is voiced by Rob Zombie, who also cameos in a couple of...
Oh, I didn't realize that.
First met Sarah, I heard the words of God. Marry her.
Didn't know that was him. Oh my god, dude! Super is an absolute. It's a movie. I'll say that much.
Yeah, I wasn't as big of a fan of Super, to be honest.
I think it was because of James Gunn's tongue-in-cheek ways of doing things can sometimes backfire. I think if he had full control over the edit of that film, I think it would have been a lot better.
I think one of my problems with it is I saw Kick-Ass before that, and it felt like a cheaper version of Kick-Ass. It felt like a less good version of Kick-Ass. It still had its moments, but I didn't like it as much.
Yeah, fair enough.
Listen, if James Gunn likes working with you, you're gonna work. Starla's suspicions for her husband deepen when she's visited by Bill and Wally. They tell her Brenda's missing and they think Grant is involved. So give Bill a call if Grant comes home or, you know, they want to do another Firefly movie. They leave and our little Betty Brant wants to get to the bottom of this story. So she breaks into their basement to find a lot of nicely categorized dead animals. Grant has turned this basement into an alpha-proof butcher shop. Phantom, look away! But where is Grant? Well, he's delivering a post-mortem mate's order to Brenda. Because just like him, she's hungry for that sweet, sweet Brundle meat. Ah, yes, hi, I'm Seth Brundle, owner of Brundle Farms, and if you're a scientist like me, then you're obsessed with improving upon nature's design. That's why our meat is a combination of all the animal food groups: chicken, beef, pork, and flies. Wait a minute. Not flies. Plus, our patented and completely infallible teleportation system will deliver your meat so fresh that you might have to kill it all over again. Brundle Farms. Be afraid. Be very afraid of the savings. Starla calls the cops right as Grant returns, and since he sees this as a betrayal, he unmurls his dicks on her. But hey, she's already JD's baby mama, so she knocks Grant down to avoid getting knocked up. The rookie arrives with his squad, but Grant gets away while showing them just how snake-like he can be. In another CGI and practical effect blend, that actually dislocated Michael Rooker's arm on set.
Oh, God.
The next day, James Caan joins Peter...
damn. Oh, that hurts to think about, because I've had this shoulder dislocated a few times, and you can actually hear it, like, it pops in and out. And I can't really do anything about it because of the damage that's been done to the rotator cuff.
Boyle on a cross-country road trip to find a stash of stolen money that... Okay, wait a minute. God damn it, this is the 1973 buddy road trip comedy Slither. Okay, who cut this in here? Was it you, Josh?
Hey, what can I say? James Caan is sexy.
Okay, I mean, I can't argue with you there. Mwah. Back in the 2006 Slither, it's 3 days later according to the ugliest font imaginable, and they still haven't found Grant. They did, however, find this sad drunk, played by Lloyd Kaufman, co-founder of Troma Entertainment, where James Gunn got his start. In fact, earlier in the movie, Troma's Toxic Avenger can also be seen on the TV. And our lord and kill counter James A. Janice told me to tell you that he'll cover the Toxic Avenger when the Peter Dinklage remake comes out. Do you think he's gonna cover the 3 sequels, or he's gonna leave them behind like he did with the Hellraiser series, am I right? Please don't fire me. After Bill gets rid of his lunch of number 42 octopus and black bean sauce, he learns there's been another animal attack thanks to police dispatcher Shelby, played by The Office's Jenna Fisher, who was at the time married to James Gunn. That's fun. The latest attack was at the Castavet's farm, a reference to the antagonist from Rosemary's Baby. Bill then gathers his team for even more references, starting with
Raglan's Ranch,
a reference to Hal Raglan from The Brood, and another animal was taken from Fitzgibbon's place, a reference to an actor in Cronenberg's Rabbit. And Bennell Park up here references Dr. Miles Bennell from the original Invasion of the Body Snatchers. And if that weren't enough, the whole police force has names of famous horror directors. Wally Whale is for James Whale, director of Frankenstein. Trevor Carpenter is John Carpenter. Margaret Hooper is for Toby, the director of Texas Chainsaw. And Deputy Tunar is Jacques Tunar, maker of Cat People and I Walk for the Zombie. But if they're all references, then who is Bill Party?
and don't forget.
Ha ha fucking ha!
5 seconds go by before another reference hits us with the Predator theme.
Alright, boys.
And they head to a stakeout with enough guns to take down a goddamn sexual Tyrannosaurus.
It's South Carolina. Go figure.
Starla shows up after changing wigs and convinces Bill that these two guys need a girl to find her pizza face of a husband. Bill and his ODST troopers wait around till nightfall with not a Grant in sight. So Bill kills some time flirting with the disembodied head of Starla.
Elizabeth Banks is a floating head in this shadow that still drives me crazy.
But before she can say, Mekaleka hi, Meka Heine, no I'm not interested, an amazing practical puppet of Grant's newest Pokemon evolution shows up, spurring a very race stance-like reaction from McCready. Can't tell if he's looking at Grant or Slimer. The on-set puppeteers in black suits are erased to give us a cow kill that looked much funnier when shot on its own. Fed up with her husband.
All of a sudden, you just hear, oh shit, John, that ain't how you tip cows. God damn it.
Fed up with her husband's Hunger Games, Starla chases after him, and we finally get to see Granty, Portrait of a Head Caterpillar. Rooker's makeup took over 3 hours to put on and 2 to take off, and the mechanical device on his neck that housed the motors for the head tentacles was very unpleasant.
Well, that machinery was tearing up his neck, to which he still has back problems because of that.
Oh my God.
The kind of pain the guy put up with was incredible.
But pain is fleeting, and this iconic monster is forever. Oh, just like marriage.
For better or worse.
Much fucking worse.
Starla's appeal to their matrimony falls on deaf tentacles. And
I mean, I guess it helps you act like a character that's in pain whenever you are in pain, right? Like,
yeah.
This poor guy, though.
Tell me about it. Also,
he got fucked up for this movie.
Yeah. Well, it's a sick deagle you got there, bro. Be ashamed.
Charlie guy who threatens him. A tentacle whip. Whoopah! Gives the guy a sagittal bifurcation, accomplished with another perfect blend of digital and practical effects. God, I just love that confused blink so much. Grant flees the scene of the crime, and everyone chases him back to a super smelly barn. Ooh, maybe there's a graboid inside. Probably not. But the order of
This is
entry
probably the
is
most
determined
disturbing
by
part of the
another
movie, in my
tremor.
opinion.
Yep. This is absolutely fucking disgusting. Avert your eyes, children.
Reference. Inside, they discover Brenda, having stolen some very experimental chewing gum.
Something's wrong with me.
Ew, what is all over her face?
Oh, shit.
It's just barbecue sauce.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm not making out with her. The Brenda blob was an effect that Gunn was very particular about.
They kept giving me designs of Brenda blobs, and I kept drawing her. And I'm like, no, she's like this. She's like a big, boob with her head as a nipple.
And that's
exactly what they fucking got. Jesus. I've heard of a chubby behemoth, but god dang.
Exactly what he got. The 9-foot-tall Brenda monster was so large it had to be constructed in an airplane hangar. It was built over a lightweight spring steel frame, which helped her lunge and jiggle without the use of special equipment. Lead puppeteer Nicholas Podbray used puppet controls for her hands reaching for things, air pressure tubes to simulate wriggling worms inside her, and a big old ballet bar for lunging. Actress Brenda James had only read her first scene when she was cast, and didn't read the whole script until she was already on her way to a makeup test.
And lo and behold, I found myself sobbing in the air uncontrollably the whole way down to Los Angeles.
But Gunn was extremely kind to her on set and made sure she was taken care of.
Okay, let me get comfortable.
I will say this scene has some amazing comedic moments.
Do you mind handing me a piece of that possum over there?
But no one's laughing when they realize that Grant led them to this barn as a trap. Oh, Mr. Grant! And before they can do anything about it, the big round Brenda blob bursts, filling a sea of slithery slug.
It's so fucked up looking.
I
and it's
know.
just all the skin and tendons and muscles tearing.
Well, I just remember, and also, it's made worse by her screaming and her, like you hear the tearing and you hear, just the worms wriggling and trying to pop their way out. And I remember the one scene, the one part during the scene, the one female deputy is just like, you need to tell her to stop doing that. And Brenda looks at her and is like, it fucking hurts, bitch!
Yeah.
Oh.
Slugs into the straw. Man, home birds sure can get messy. The worms start to climb inside the deputies' mouths as Bill takes on a new job as COVID safety officer.
Marcus, cover your mouth!
The can of worms screensaver covers the cast before waking the movie back up and sending them off to the nearby Strutmeyer house. The worms approach the house with all the stealth of an alley of clowns. But Kylie Strutmeyer doesn't hear them as she relaxes with a bath. A sneaky Slurms McKenzie is ready to party with this babe, so it makes its way into the tub. We then get some shots mimicking Cronenberg shivers and A Nightmare on Elm Street before Kylie is attacked. The practical worms used for this scene were made out of thermal gel, a strong elastic material developed for sex toys. Oh man, do you really want to taste that? Yes,
no.
Not. Kylie's fancy Pokemon nails keep the parasite from fully taking her over, but we do see flashes of it taking over another planet full of ROUSs.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that shot. That was cool as hell.
Mr. Limper
Huh?
I forgot about that shot. That was cool as hell.
Well, again, it made her sort of the medium of this because she knew what their conquest was eventually going to result in.
Yeah, and it was a really cool lore establishment shot with a show don't tell type,
Exactly.
thing to it.
You didn't have to have any exposition or anything after this. It's oh, they're here to take over. much like how they did here.
Yeah, when it's like this is not the first world these things have come to and taken over as well.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Doesn't go down until being melted with a curling iron.
Yeah.
Look away, Judy. Kylie checks on her family to find them all infected with worms. Did you not learn from Fry? Don't eat truck stop egg sandwiches. Even her younger sisters are convulsing as the walls are pulsing with worms. In a very cool shot that reminds me of arachnophobia. By the way, if you couldn't tell by now, we're only counting deaths when a body is killed, not when they get infected. James's orders. Kylie makes her way outside and into the family truck, which the worms swarm, swarm, swarm. In another great practical effect. You see, a black and white animation of the worms was projected onto the car to give the impression of them covering it completely. And it saved on CGI costs. Bonus! Back at the barn,
awesome.
we've got ourselves a whole mess of bodies. But none for me to count just yet.
They alive?
Verified! Bill heads to town to radio for help while Starla and the rest gather up their friends. Wally returns to apparent life, now infected and a third-party conduit for Grant's apology.
I didn't mean to do none of them things I done. Not make Brenda one.
Looks like Grant's consciousness extends to everyone infected with wormy worms.
I'm your husband, so put that goddamn gun down.
But when Deputy Hooper brings her gun up, she's sprayed with acid vomit and swells up like Weird Al in that Fat music video. Oh, and she also dies too.
Yeah.
Wally Grant gets pissed and yells at Starla, prompting her to blow his slug brains out in another great practical effect. Goodbye, Raoul. Out of bullets, they take off into the woods. Bill finds the Strutmeyer family going after Kylie and distracts them long enough for her to escape. But, hey Otis, what's with your skin, man?
Poison ivy out back, maybe?
We're itchy.
The freaking writing in this is so good.
That's also a reference to the
Shining.
twins from The Shining, in my opinion.
Come play with us.
They said it the same way.
Yeah, it's great.
Delivery from the Grady twins. Love it. Bill is attacked by Fitzgibbon with a shovel, but totally gets him back for it. He and Kylie get back to the cop car in time to see Starla and McCready chased by wormbees of their own. Okay, Bill, time for you to drive like you're in a canceled 2007 Fox racing show. He does and hits Deputy Carpenter away from a tied-up Mayor McCready, who should have just taken off his pants to get away. Starla then finishes off Carpenter with a gnarly, prolonged neck stab, and there's only one thing you can say to that.
Bitch is hardcore.
They escape the wormies who mourn the departure with a rendition of Smashing Pumpkins' most masturbatory song. An awkward car ride follows as they process everything that just happened. Bill tries to get Shelby to call the CDC for help. Can you do that, Shelby?
Yeah.
Shelby, are you nodding?
Yeah, sorry. I'll get you right back.
But she won't get him right back, since the wormbees must have also radioed to send more slugs. In the car, McReady is none too thrilled with the drink selection.
I told your secretary to pack Mr. Pibb. It's the only Coke I like.
And now my shirt makes sense! There's very little merchandise for this film. Kylie then provides some exposition earned from her slug.
Also, it's like a really good
worms are-
Southern thing. Like, he called it Coke. Like, that's the thing. It's like the only Coke I like. Like, everybody else, everywhere else knows Coke is Coca-Cola. But literally, it's a Southern thing. My grandparents did it all the time. Like, it was, what kind of Coke you want? Like, you know, and it was like that. They were referring to, do you want Coke? Do you want Mountain Dew? Do you want Dr.
Sprite,
Pepper? Because it's
yeah.
all Coke to them. Like,
Yeah. Jesus.
so I like that they got that right.
Alien that came from outer space. Referred to in the script as the Long One, this creature goes from planet to planet, eating and or absorbing everything in its wake. Kind of like a Galactus skin rash.
It's a conscious disease.
Oh, so you're all fucked. Bill radios back to the office, but Shelby's been replaced with Pam Measley here, who has a little surprise for them. They're hit from the side and knocked out by a fade to black. When they awaken, they're surrounded by wormbees, and the only way out is more cowbell. I guess it wasn't enough, since Starla and McCready are dragged away while Bill and Kylie escape to the police station. There we see the first of many bodies being dragged away, which I will be counting as dead, whether they currently are or just infected. Spoilers, they'll eventually be dead ski. Bill heads into the station hoping for communication or gun salvation, but instead he finds my dear friend. This scene was originally supposed to be much bigger, but James Gunn hated the look of this Muppet deer.
If I saw a deer like that, I'd fucking shoot. I'd immediately walk out and shoot it in the face.
So Kylie quickly comes in to kill it and mount it on Ash Williams' cabin wall. Finding his ace of spades, Bill equips an incendiary grenade for a little PvP with Grant, hoping that Grant's death will also kill the rest of his brood. He and Kylie make their way towards Grant's house and witness one townsperson getting pukakied while some more are carried to Grant's. In the basement of the Grant house, McCready wakes up surrounded by a Cannibal Cruise Line buffet. Look at those bellies! Gross. Nipples are for cheeks, not for bellies. McCready agrees, so he runs upstairs and opens the door just in time to get wormalized in the clavicle? Hey, not my kink, but I respect it. He then tries to fight his urges for meat, until finally succumbing to how delicious these three bodies look. Indulging himself, he goes to town on an arm that was made of chewy plastic.
And the blood, of course, is mint flavored, so it was quite a delicious forearm.
Meanwhile, Bill and Kylie are still homeward bound in a bit of a hurry, past more dragged away townsfolk. And then Kylie trips for no reason. Whoopsie! Upstairs in the Grant house, Starla awakens looking like Fay Ray, which is fitting because her King Kong is downstairs playing more Air Supply. She looks around for a weapon and sees, oh, there is my hairbrush, which she decides to keep for later use. Oh, I wish this dress had pockets. Pocket dresses are the best. She makes her way downstairs past a photo wall of Photoshop memories before revealing what James Gunn called the Cake Monster. No relation to Cookie for legal reasons. And when he first saw it, he wasn't pleased.
It looked like a bunch of, Beach Boys under a blanket. And I'm like, this is awful. So I shut down set and then reconstructed for a half a day what that monster looked like, just like with scraps of shit and putting it together.
This epic creature took 7 puppeteers to operate, with extensive rehearsals and testing that started 5 months before production. And while the previous Grant transformation makeups were hard on Michael Rooker, the makeup for this last stage
is actually quite abusive.
He was in it for over 18 hours, but never lost his fun spirit, even when he had to shoot it on his 50th birthday.
Guys, you can go have some lunch. I'll be right with you.
Dude, 50th birthday. What a hell of a way to have it, to have your birthday.
Right.
It's Rooker's performance in the scene that Gunn remembers most for this film and why he continues to work with him.
He put up with a kind of pain that no other actor, and I believe, seriously, no other actor in Hollywood would ever put up with.
Bill and Kylie finally arrived to see more wheelsy townfolk being dragged away. And I bet yous know what's going on over there. It's shunting time, y'all.
Well, now, that is some fucked up shit.
Yes, yes it is. Bill sees Starla inside.
Well, now, that is some fucked up shit.
Yes, yes it is. Bill.
Oh, it's okay. It's fake puke.
Yeah.
Bill sees Starla inside and realizes a man's gotta do what a man's gotta do. So he Derek storms the building, but is briefly thwarted by a Dilophosaurus fanboy that he shoots point blank in the chest. Kylie then takes out a Tommy Jarvis fanboy with a super gooey brain shot. Yep, no maggots in that head anymore. Inside, Starla's doing her best to deal with this extreme home makeover Cronenberg edition.
You did a real nice job decorating, baby.
She wants her husband to know that she hasn't taken him for granted. It's actually a really nice moment that's played super seriously and gives some depth to our main monster man.
But I feel for the long one, too. I really like the character of, I like the monster.
You know, the Frankenstein monster is in love. He's in love.
And it looks like it works, until she gives him the brush off. She lands a stab before getting cool whipped across the room. Bill and Kylie make it inside to find McCready looking like a slumber party zit girl. And this monstrous mayor has one request for his constituent.
Kill me, party, please.
Shot him like he was an unarmed operative. Classic Val.
Yep.
I like how he didn't even hesitate. He's just like, okay.
He didn't even go with I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, McCready. Instead, he was just like, kill me, please.
I'm like, gladly.
Oh, it's like, oh, thank God.
He tries to take down the first.
He actually kind of looks at him like, don't touch me.
Doesn't go well.
Shit.
He looks for the grenade, and Grant's body, George, gets screaming mad right as he finds it.
Ow. Oh. Balls.
Bill looks up to see a whole mess of worm bees before getting attacked by Grant's double hammers. The hammers are his penises. He's able to protect his deltoids of compassion, but Grant pumps baby batter right into his abs of being kind. Inside, the coctopus gives Kylie a Coachie, which really should have killed her. And yet, no kill graphic. Bill's had enough of these motherfucking tentacles acting like motherfucking wangs. So he breaks out the Hank Hill special and fills this former Jacob Toretto caregiver up with propane. It's now up to Starla to take him out, but not before a nice moment of sadness from Rooker that really shows the beauty in this beast. But it doesn't last, since Starla goes full governor and fires, blowing out the candles on this cake monster and sending it to a Merly grave. Consider that a divorce. With Grant dead, that means all his worm bees are dead too. And thanks to the latest in kill counting technology.
Hey Mom, bad news. I'm not going to be able to make it to your birthday. 1, 2, 3.
I fucking knew it.
7 wheelsy folks became worm food. There's 36 in this wide shot, 14 in front of the house, 2 out of focus bodies here, 23 various bodies in this final wide shot, 5 basement gore gorgers, and 16 over at the Strutmeyer place that all died during Family Fun Day. Oh, and let's not forget Shelby, the serial nodder. Luckily, Bill gets to party on, because...
You need both of them things and you to get all woomy.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's right, everything is awesome! Everything is cool, except your friends are all dead. So you might as well just birdwalk past these pain in the ass to count bodies on your way out of the movie and into the credits. Oh yeah, and there's also a post-credit scene where a prick crap makes a fancy feast out of a Grant chunk that seems very happy about doing a potential sequel. Look away, Phantom! How many people lost custody of their lives during Grant and Starla's messy divorce? Let's find out and get to the...
Zoran, you okay?
Yeah! I'm just fine, Sugar Plum. It's just a to the numbers bit. Now, you mind handing me a little bit of that doctor there?
No. No!
But I'm so hungry. I need meat. 127 people died in Slither. 52 men, 37 women, none of them Starla, and 38 unknown, giving us a pie chart made of all kinds of meat. With a runtime of 95 minutes, that gives us a kill on average every 0.748 minutes. Starla! I'll give the golden chainsaw for coolest kill to Brenda. James Gunn fought hard to achieve this big boob with a head-face vision, and I fought very hard to make her into my worm womb. Bill Machete for lamest kill will go to all the dragged away bodies. They were annoying to keep track of, and you know, if you tried dragging a body around, they'll give you more back problems than an 18-hour day in makeup. And that's it.
Fireman's carry. Fireman's carry the body. Trust me. It's faster and, you know, you're less likely to throw your back out.
No, actually, that's it. Slither came out in 2006, and like many horror comedies before it, was a box office bomb. Thankfully, it was well received by critics, so James Gunn was able to work again.
That made my career, because after that, I was worth something as a director, because it got good reviews.
I'll be returning for one more kill count in 2 weeks with another movie about a small town being invaded by practical effects, Deathgasm. But until then, I'm a man who is currently the voice of Blue Bunny Ice
Another
Cream,
good movie.
and this has been the Kill Count.
On the next kill count, the ritual has begun. The Zoran will be summoned for one final kill count, but what unholy, blood-soaked abomination will he be covering?
Murder boner? Toothed vagina. Deathgasm. Cool. What about... I fucking said...
A demon-filled heavy metal high school horror comedy epic from New Zealand, filled with...
Condoms, Vaseline, jumper cables, and ammonium nitrate.
No, it's actually filled with brutal heavy metal.
Metal! It's piss.
Early Peter Jackson levels of blood and gore.
Yeah.
Nudity balanced with church stuff.
What part of church they bring this bad boy, Brody?
And badass catchphrases.
Fuck yeah.
That dice out of your nose.
It's actually a die. Dice is the plural.
And watch. Then on Friday, June 3rd, bring things up to 666 with the kill count. Only on
Maggot spin.
No, dead meat. Come on.
Yes. Good
Spot for it.
Deathgasm can currently be watched on the pictured streaming platforms. Denny always recommends you watch the movie for yourself before its kill count. It's the only way to have your own properly informed opinion. Kill counts are never meant to replace the experience of watching a film.
Thanks for watching!
It's also the where that meme comes from, my music taste, also my music taste. When they're sitting on the bench and he's in the black metal paint.
I didn't think that I'd be doing another kill count, but here we are. More killer worms, and honestly, this movie is just so good. And Slither doesn't have any merchandise, as I mentioned, and so the stuff back here was made by my friend Gina DeVivo, who, again, was in Social Media Askis 2 as the Maniac Pixie Dream Girl. She made this out of tinfoil and hot glue. She's so good at making
That's impressive.
the things. So yeah, go watch Deathgasm. It really needs your support. It's a wonderful movie. And until we get to that kill count, I'm just going to be here with my DVD of James Caan's Slither. I'm going to let him do the final line. Be good people.
Nice.
Very nice. So yeah, that was Slither.
It's disappointing that there's no Slither merch. I need to start a petition or something.
Yeah, start a petition.
Find out who made, who the producer, like, company of Slither is, and then send the petition in to them.
Let's see. Alright, so produced by Paul Brooks, Eric Newman. I think it was Gold Circle. Yeah, they're still in. Wait.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, God.
Click on that real quick.
Damn.
Just hope they don't put Uwe Boll on it. Apparently, Gold Circle's making a We Happy Few movie.
Yeah.
The game has not even got that good of reviews.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to make of that. Mostly they focus on...
Maybe they think it's a good concept and they could do better with it as a movie.
Maybe. I mean...
Good luck to them. I doubt it'll work.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. Anyway, though, yeah, that was James Gunn's Slither. Hell of a movie, still, and I would very much like to see more of it. If they ever do a sequel, or, you know, a continuation in some way, I'd be down for that. But at the same time, I mean, I'm happy with what we got. Also, give us merch. I want some Slither merch. I would not mind that at all. You know, like a badge or something, or, you know, like a...
Shirts.
Or shirts, yeah. Shirts would be a good one. Shirts would be a great one. But, again, we'll just have to see all in due time if that, in fact, comes true. But, alright. Anyway, everyone, thank you all very much for tuning in. This was Dead Meat's Kill Count for Slither, and hopefully we will see you all in the next one. Until then, I'm Nate.
I am Nick.
See you later, everyone. Peace.